Salutations viewers, my name is Game Name and welcome back to another one of my Legends of Runeterra patch notes review. Now I'm sorry I'm a little late on 3.13 because then we're going to have 3.13 later in the day be reviewed for you guys. So I just wanted to get the card updates in and just anything that was in this patch. I was away and a lot of stuff was happening in my life, but now I'm back at it and yeah, lots going on. But without further ado, let's take a look at what patch notes 3.13 had before 3.14 started. So 3.13 had a look at the card updates. So the champions we had were Alawi. Her base stats were 1.6 and then they got nerfed to 1.5. And then her level 2 was 2.7. Then I got nerfed to 2.6. This isn't a big change, but it does make her a little bit less tanky, unfortunately. But it's not a huge change. It is a mini nerf to her. But the spawn, oh yeah, that got nerfed too. Yeah, instead of spawning 3, it spawns 2. So apparently, like they said, it proved to be too strong for a universal removal tool for Bilgewater. But I think this makes Alawi a lot more balanced. So it is a nerf to her, but she's not as OP as she was before. But I think that's okay. I think what right here happened is okay. It's good to go. And then we have Karma. So they gave her a bit of a buff, a health buff. So her base stats were 4.3 and now they're 4.4 for her level 1. And then her level 2 was 5.4 and now it's 5.5 for her level 2. So I think that'll be really helpful for Karma and we'll see a little bit more play into her. Fornar, the change was create Pokey Stick, or if you have one, reduces cost by 1. I think that was changed to 2. So I think that's really good for Nar because we'll see a little bit more play into him. And then Zilean's Careful Preparation. Now the new card says to play, place a card from your hand into your deck. Predict, then create an exact copy of the chosen card in hand. Create Zilean in your deck. But now, yeah, long time coming, but finally Zilean's spell makes sense in Zilean's decks, which I do like the change that they have into this. I think we'll see a little bit more play with that card. Then we have the Wandering Caretaker, which is Bard, which we love. We love Bard. So now the change was Chimestone. Start planting until you have 3+ mana gems. Okay, so yeah, they would the frustration early turn chime high sides. Okay, I can't remember. I didn't play Bard much. So I can't remember if it was 2+ or maybe it was 4+, but it looks like if they wanted to reduce the frustration early, it looks like it might have been 2+, so maybe they put an extra one on there so it's a little bit easier to go against him. But I like that. I like that change if that was the case. I didn't play against Bard much. Then we have Cosmic Binding. So it was plant 3, and now it's chimes, plant 6 chimes. Wow, that's a lot. It's a lot of chimes. And it deals 2 to an enemy and stuns another. I'm excited to see more of Bard because I didn't see him as much in the decks that I played. But that's okay. So second skin got changed from focus to slow, which kind of sucks, but you know, it's not terrible. You just got to play it a little bit better. Yeah, to increase opponent's ability to interact with Kai'Sa decks. That makes more sense because Kai'Sa by nature is quick. So I like how they did change this so they can go against her spells a little bit more. And her supercharge, the cost went up from 3 to 4. So that's not a bad change. For Hate Spike, the cost went from 2 to 1. Now we're going to be seeing this a lot more often because now it's a 1-cost fast spell. And it kill an ally to deal 2 to a unit and summon a random husk. Yeah, so it's definitely a small buff to Evelyn. Then we have Harsh Winds where the cost was 6 and now it's 5. So a slight buff. It's technically a champion buff like they said, but it's to give players better. Yeah, the Frostbite is actually really nice. So it's a slight buff to interact more with other champions and shit like that. So Blighted Ravine. It used to be when I'm summoned, heal your Nexus. It was 4, but now they changed it to 2. And then the second part was countdown 1, deal 2 to everything. Now it's all units, and that means your own units as well. So you got to play this card carefully. It's a good board sweep, though. I like it. Frozen Thrall, the countdown changed from 8 to 9, so a bit of a nerf. So you have to wait one more additional turn to go against the Frozen Thrall, which hopefully shouldn't be too bad if you play your cards right. Get it? Because it's a card game. And then we have Baboon, and the cost, it was a slight nerf. It was 3-1. Now it's 2-1, so it's not terrible. It's not a terrible change, so it makes it a nice, good pick for early game. And then Station Archivist, the effect is pick a spell into the top 5 cards of your deck and create an exact fleeting copy in hand. The change is then shuffle those top 5 into your deck. So I think that's pretty good. I think that is nice to have that ability to stack for the Archivist, Station Archivist hands. Then we have Raven Bloom Conservatory. So the countdown definitely got nerfed two turns. So that makes it a little bit harder to go against, but I think that's okay because it creates a tie bulk in hand. Yeah, it was very easy. Like they said, it was just too easy to consistently level it in hands, which sucks, but you know, I do like this change, how they added the 2 extra turns to compensate for that. Then they have Catagrin the Ruined. It was granted an ally champion or dragon challenger. +1/+1. Now it's granted ally challenger and +1/+1. Was it +1/+1 before? I can't even remember. But I do know this was a good card. I didn't see it much, but whenever I went against it, I was not happy about it. Mark of the Storm. So the change was grant an enemy Mark of the Storm if they already have it. Remove the mark to stun and deal 2. But now it's 3, so that got a slight buff. Yeah, it revives the Bandle City's attractiveness, which I do like. So this is a good change, a slight buff to it. Starbone. So it used to be if you behold the messenger, grant celestial allies everywhere +1/+1. Then it got changed to if you behold a celestial, create the messenger in your deck and grant celestial allies everywhere +1/+1. I think that's pretty great change. I mean, that's a good buff, and it does remove the narrowness from the card, make it better for all around celestial decks. Now this will be a must-have for celestial decks for sure. Then we have Bloody Business, an ally with 5+ power strikes an enemy, and then it got changed to Reputation. 1 cost to an ally with 5+ power strikes an enemy. Oh. You know, I didn't see Bloody Business all that often. You should get more of a jumping through reputations hoop, and hopefully this coupled with some more recent. You know, that's not a bad change. I think that's. I'd like to see this incorporated more into decks so that way I can see exactly how it plays out. But I don't think this is a bad change. I think this makes it a little bit more playable, but I'm not sure. Then we have Star Shaping. So it's evoke a celestial card that costs 7 or more. Then heal an ally or your nexus from 4. Now it's 5. So this will be good for some slower decks, especially in celestial decks. So I do think this is pretty decent. It is a slight buff. You get to heal for 5 instead of 4. And then we have Thunder Fist, which got a buff from 2/3 to 3/3. Then Maza, Crashing Thunder, was 5/4 to 5/5, slight buff. Risu, the Silent Storm, got a slight buff in the health department, 1/1 to 1/3, which is big for 2. So, but it's a lower, it's a 5-mana 1/3 now. But summoning the Storm Cloud is actually pretty nice because then it's a 5-mana 7/3. So I do think this is not bad. I do think the costs are a little much, but I think the Storm Cloud is really good. So Storm Cloud got changed from impact, so now it's when I'm summoned, grant me impact 3 times, which is nice. Very nice. Love to see it. Love to see it. Dusk Petal Dust used to be the next unit with Nightfall you play this round costs 1 less. Now it is the next card you play this round costs 1 less. But so it no longer has to have Nightfall, which is good because that was a long-standing frustration. So the Stagehand was a 4/4. Now it's a 4/2. Now that is a slight nerf, obviously. The Stagehand. Editor's note, Jin is the only one allowed to be perfect. I actually love that. I don't even care about this part. This is the only reason why I need to know. Defiant Dance was cost 4, now it's cost 5, so a slight nerf to the cost. So it's a small hit, like they said. The Traveler's base stats of 3/4, now it's 4/4, which is a slight buff. Now this card will be a 4 mana 4/4, a little bit more worthy. Squeaker base stats was a 1/2, now it's a 2/2. Now that's a decent buff that plays a little bit better with the flow. Then Bandle City Mare, 2/2 to a 2/3 slight buff. Oh, apparently it brought a lot of apprehension to the team. But now it's enhanced this position well as Mare. So Ancient Hourglass, the cost went up from 2 to 3. And then Glade Collector, the cost went from 2/4 to 2/5. Slight buff. This is a slight nerf, by the way, the Ancient Hourglass. And now the Winding Light no longer has Overwhelm. As a go wide finisher and less of its own stats and evasion. I still like that it gives allies +2/+1 and Overwhelm this. So it no longer has Overwhelm this round. But I wonder if that Overwhelm is granted to the other allies. I think it is. Papercraft Dragon is now cost 6. So it used to be 5. Yeah, Papercraft one-turn kills were annoying. But you know what? I don't think that's going to stop people from continuing to play Papercraft Dragon. Then we have Battle Bonds. So the cost was 4. Now it's 5. The change was slow. Now it's Burst, which I don't mind this actually. So it is a little bit more of a cost. I think it's a little bit more balanced because now it's slow to burst. I think that's fine change. I don't think that really changes too much about it. Bennyman, base stats were 4/4. Now it's 4/3. Now it's 4/4. So it makes a 4 mana 4/4. And I think that's going to be a pretty good card to play more often. Scar, because just the extra health would be good. Scar Maiden Reaver. She went from a 4/5 to 4/6. Current stat lines, yeah, that makes sense. And then Twisted Catalyzer was 2/2. Now it's 3/2. So he's a little bit more of a heavy hitter in the early game department. So just watch out for him. So he's going to be a decent card to play. So now we got some more boards, some more personalization, which is really cool. Pinnacle of Glory. Then we have the Seasonal Competitor card back, and then we have the icon as well. And then we have our miscellaneous and bug fixes. So for miscellaneous, the next expansion is the revealed live stream, which was August 17th, which is going to be the video later today. And then there's some amazing artwork submitted from their Star Guardian community art gallery, which you guys should definitely check out. And these are all the bug fixes that they have here for you guys that I can let you guys read later. I think this is good balance update. I think this is a really good balance update. Sometimes the patch notes are not always going to be huge changes. They're not always going to be the smallest of changes, but sometimes they're like mid changes. And these balance updates I really like because they're bringing in some other cards that don't get as much play, but they're also bringing in and they're balancing out some of the more OP cards, which is really good. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this patch note. If you thought some of the changes weren't to your liking and what card you use the most. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I highly appreciate your time as always. But please do not forget to subscribe and or follow not only to my YouTube, but to my Twitch. You guys know where my YouTube is at. But you can find my Twitch at twitch.tv/thegamedame. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.